most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together, we have the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Well, in our opinion, of course, Bob.
Sam's the most famous skeleton. Today, we're talking about understanding rotator cuff pain, and we're going to show you 3 at-home exercises to restore pain-free strength.
That's right. Strength, movement, get it back into shape, Bob. But
by the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to our website, bobandbrad.com.
That's right.
We're always giving something away. The contest is finishing today. It'll start again tomorrow. We're giving away a massage gun. So go to the giveaway section. You can also go to Facebook. It'll be pinned at the top of the page, the contest. You go to Twitter or Instagram or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program.
There you go, Bob.
Wow.
Well, Bob, I'm feeling a little frisky today.
All right.
So we're talking about the rotator cuff. And again, education, understanding the problem, any problem, I think really accelerates. You can solve the problem.
Right.
So we're going to give a little understanding.
Tutorial.
Yep. So the rotator cuff, some people call it the rotator cup.
Yeah.
But it's not the cup, it's the cuff.
Cuff.
It's 4 muscles, and they're smaller muscles. And, you know, if you look at your shoulder, there's these muscles here, the deltoids.
They're over top.
They're over the top of it. We've got to take those off of it. And then we see that, well, actually, Sam, and we've taken all the muscles off of Sam.
Yeah, just the ligaments there. Right?
But we've got 4 muscles here, and there's one that comes on the top, and then there's 2 of them back here that compose and create the rotator cuff muscles. Oftentimes, it's not the muscle that causes the pain, it's the tendon of the muscles. And there's actually one tendon that is the vast majority of the time is a problem, and that's this one right here. We have it highlighted in pink or a purplish color. That's the supraspinatus. And that one, what is the stats? It's like over 70% of the issues are here. So we're going to talk about that because it really...
So the muscle starts here, it narrows up and attaches to the bone through the tendon.
Right.
And that's where the problems occur.
And let's take a look at this closer. Sam, can you give us a little twist? The muscle belly is right in this pocket right here where my finger is. And the tendon actually goes underneath this bone and right in through here where the pin is. And you can see it. Now what happens is, if you can imagine, my finger is a tendon. Put your finger in there, Bob.
I don't trust you.
Well,
How?
Yeah, so what can happen is if the rotator cuff muscles aren't working properly, all 4 of them in synchronous movement.
To stabilize the shoulder.
Right, that would pull down the humerus head, so it maintains a gap in there so the tendon is safe.
If it's working right. If it's not working right, or if you've got poor posture, it can pinch in there.
And repetitive pinching or aggressive pinching can irritate that tendon and actually cause it to eventually tear, possibly.
It can lead to tendonitis, which can lead to a rotator cuff tear.
Right. So that's critical. Now, there's a few things we need to do aside from the exercises, the 3 exercises we're going to get to. But we understand the cause of the pain, the majority of the pain. Now we need to avoid activities that irritate it, or we call them pain makers. Pain makers. Typically and almost always, overhead, reaching up overhead is painful, sometimes only for a painful arc in here. If it's more severe, any overhead activity irritates it. So you're going to avoid reaching up overhead.
It's not the time to do painting. It's not the time to do trimming shrubs.
Right.
I mean,
this is tough for people who has a job that requires overhead work. If you can get other people to do it, or take time off,
if you can raise your body up somehow, like we have hairdressers who are like this, and that's where they have it, where the floor actually raises up, and they can work down further.
Well, yeah, we don't want to get into that too much because there's other things, but so we want to eliminate that. Also, sleeping on that shoulder can be a big pain maker. So what you're going to want to do is sleep on, so the irritated side, this would be the painful shoulder. I'm going to sleep on if you're a side sleeper, sleep on your back is better, but if you have to sleep on your side because that's what your body wants, sleep on the good shoulder. And then make sure you take, it's nice to have 2 pillows, one here and one like this. And you'll be amazed at how much more comfortable it is on that painful shoulder. And just sleep like that. Really big difference. And the next thing is when you're sitting in a chair, particularly if it's an irritated phase, any chair that you are in works better with a chair with armrests. Or you don't have to, but put a pillow here and allow that. The little bit of weight bearing that is supported by the pillow makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
It
I
does.
have all my patients do this, and they always come back and say their pain levels have gone down just from doing this.
Right. Yep.
So,
It's one of those little things that can make a big difference between the sleeping posture as well as just resting in
Absolutely.
a seated position. All right, Bob. Now, those things you need to address.
now we got 3 exercises.
Now
to
the
show.
exercises. Well, we're going to use this chair.
Oh, that's right. You're going to use it. That's right.
Now, we've found over the last few years from a surgeon, Dr. Kirsch.
Dr. Kirsch.
He's an orthopedic surgeon. He's done many surgeries.
Retired.
He's retired now. He wrote a book on what he feels is one of the best treatments for impingement.
Right.
And we found it to be very helpful. There's a couple different ways. I think what we'll show him the first way is he calls it hanging.
Right.
You can take a pull-up bar, and we like this so much, we developed something also along with our wall anchors is our hanging system that works well for this. So either a pull-up bar or a system like this for our wall hangers, and we have this
You
below
could do
our
it with a
video.
branch.
Yeah, you could, and he talks about
He
that in
shows
his
the
books.
branch, right.
He's very practical. You don't have to, you can use what's around the house. But I'm going to show you the concept of it. We're just going to gently, when you start out, you can see my legs are taking up weight. And I'm going to go down to a point, and it's going to be a little painful, he says, and that's okay. You maybe start out with, 10 seconds, work up to 30 seconds. And
so 10 seconds and then relieve it.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
try another 10 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, there's no exact protocol for this.
Right.
You want to work through it. I mean, he talks about hanging for like up to 10 minutes off and on.
Right.
But that's a long time.
It is.
A lot of people seem like they got better or got some relief by doing less.
Right.
I mean,
I know I use it for maintenance.
I use it for maintenance too.
For maintenance as well.
Absolutely, for my back and for my shoulders.
Now, if you don't have a chin-up bar, pull-up bar, or the anchors, someplace to hang, you can actually take a stick. We use the Booyah stick naturally. It works very well. But you don't have to have one. You can use like a broomstick. The key is, though, is
You're gonna need a rubber tip on it or something, tape.
something so it doesn't slide.
Right.
So I'm going to put this right here on the chair. It doesn't slide. We got a little rubber tip on there. And you're going to reach up. Now, if your shoulder's really sore, it might be too early for this. But as it's getting better and you get more functional with it, then you do this and you're going to grab onto the stick at this point. Now, you're going to see when I lean forward, pressure's going to go down into the stick.
See how he's putting traction on that arm.
Yep. You can't see this, but I can definitely feel as I
you
lean
feel it a
forward.
lot.
It's pulling that, giving similar forces on it as hanging. So this
Now, make sure your hand isn't sliding down.
is, yep,
You don't want to do that.
yep.
And also, if it does hurt when you first start, you can start lower, Brad,
Right,
and lean forward like
sure, yep.
that. I've had people who had really pretty painful shoulders that started this.
Yeah, I've had people start on the floor.
Start on the floor, yeah.
Yep,
And it's going like that.
and work here. And then once they get up to here, then
We go up
progress
to,
to
the chair,
this
right,
level
Right.
and go into that. Again, I'll only have them go, 10 to 30 seconds. I call it the Statue of Liberty because that's what it looks like. I've had people from 13 years old to a man who's in his 70s
I
using
can beat
this.
you. I had someone in their 90s.
Oh, really?
Arthritis. Yep.
Say no more, Bob. Okay. Now, the next ones are strengthening exercises. These are pretty easy. They've been around for a while. You are going to need some kind of a resistance band. I'm just going to use a band here. We do sell our own Bob and Brad bands, some good quality ones with nice handles. You need to have a place like a doorknob would work really well. We use the wall anchors because they're
a bedpost would probably work.
A bedpost, yeah, that's what you used to use,
yeah,
right?
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, my wife was so upset because I loosened it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so now we got the wall anchor because Bob's wife is no longer upset. So we're going to, and actually this one you can do without resistance when you start. We're going to
just do posture ones.
Yeah, pull the shoulders back. Can you show where that?
Look how those shoulder blades are coming together, and he's tightening up the muscles here. So he's basically making a W, and you can do these throughout the day, and you should do them throughout the day when you're seated or even when you're standing. I'd say, this is going to help reposition that shoulder.
Right.
So you can do this like 6 to 8 times a day.
Right. You do
a set of 10.
Yep, a set of 10's good. Again, it repositions the head of that shoulder so it really falls into place. And then you can start doing it with some resistance like this. And once you get that, the third exercise, we need to get to that, is you simply elbow here, and we're going to, again, you do need a doorknob or something to anchor it. This works really well. I can just leave that, go right to there. You got me, Liz, and we're going to keep the elbow by the ribs and work this motion. This really focuses on 2 external rotators of the rotator cuff, and it works very well. And 10 to 15 of these, and you'll feel those muscles get a little tired. You might want to take a break. And 3 times a day, I usually have my patients do these morning, afternoon, and night, as well as the scapular retraction or the ones we just showed previous. So between the whole scenario, Bob, giving it a break, working your posture, working the exercises, not sleeping on it and using the pillow, you're going to improve your posture, your rotator cuff muscle is going to heal, and you're going to get stronger.
And you're going to have a pain-free life again.
You'll be able to wave, be able to wash the windows, do things overhead.
No more excuses.
That's right.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Very good. Enjoy.